Here's another one where I thought by now people will at least be educated enough to know that this does not exist. This is a myth. You cannot spot reduce fat burning. It just does not exist. So many people come to me, I have clients as well, and I have to set them straight. But just when I'm walking around in the gym, wherever, people say, I feel all right about myself. I just want to lose a little bit of belly. Everything else is good. I feel good. I just want to lose a little bit of bingo wing. Everything's good on me. I've just got some lower back fat. Listen, G, I don't care what you think is good and which part you want to reduce. It ain't happening. Plain simple. The only thing you can do is burn fat. What you can't do is pick and choose where the fat gets burnt from. That just does not happen. Let me explain to you something about fat burning when it comes to fat burning. I don't think many people understand this. Let's say you're fat and you have a belly, right? And you think the outside of the belly. So the belly's here. This is the belly. I think that's what a belly looks like. And this is the end of the belly. So people pinch it here and they think, this is the fat area here. I'm going to burn this fat and it's slowly reducing. Wrong. That's not what happens. What happens is this. The fat burns from the inside. Always remember that. So the actual fact is when you're burning, this is going down because the inside of it is getting removed. Does that make sense? So imagine if there was a stack of books like this. I'm just taking out the one closest to my six pack. And then the outside bit is always the last to go. And sometimes if you see people that are really fat, really fat, they have that hard, like fat, stubborn fat that's right on the outside. And the reason why that is because that fat got processed first. So imagine I get fat now, right? By something happens to me and I just get fat. I mean, it'll never, ever, ever happen that I'll get fat unintentionally. Intentionally, maybe, but unintentionally never happen. Let's say I got fat. This is my skin here. This is the fat here. I can feel it, right? This, over the course of years, would start getting out and more fat would get added underneath it. Now, the most readily available fat for the body would be the one closest to it. Simple as. So, anyway, now we know how fat's burn. Now, you cannot spot reduce. You cannot do it. Spot reduction does not exist. So when you see people doing sit-ups, all they're doing, now sit-ups aren't bad. They're not a bad exercise. They strengthen the core, they tighten the core, especially if you've been really eating shit all your life and most of the core is very weak and very loose with all the weight that's hanging off it as well and your body's out of line. So training the core is very important. Doing sit-ups is very good. There's nothing wrong with doing sit-ups if you're fat. Absolutely nothing wrong with it, but you are not spot reducing. If you have some bingo wings, especially some females, and they do some dips at the edge of the chair, this reduces the burn. When the more of the burn you get, the more fat is burnt. Wrong again. That is not how fat's burn. The body will break down fat as energy and it will use whichever it wants. You can't tell it where to get that store from. There's loads of stores. It's not the fact that this is one that I'm hitting and I can feel this one burning. The body's not going to think, shit, I know the back of this lady's arms are absolutely on fire right now. I better use these stores to torch the fat and use this one. Does not happen, guys. Simple as. There's no way of spot reducing body fat anywhere on your body. I don't care who you are. I don't care what advice the science is giving you there. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, there is one way of getting rid of that fat. That is called liposuction. It is stupid, it is dangerous, and it is horrible. I see so many people, especially when I'm going abroad to different countries. The first time I actually saw it was America, and I couldn't believe my eyes. It almost looked fake that this was a thing where the girls had it take. I mean, she was fat. You could tell she was fat. She had fat arms, she had fat cheek, and a six-pack. Well, not a six-pack, but you get what I'm trying to say. And it is absolutely ridiculous. It is very dangerous. Remember, you're altering with your body's function here. Your body has pockets of fat and where it wants to store it, and it will store fat wherever it pleases. So the best thing to do is to never give your body a reason to store fat. You should be healthy and active, up and about, running about like a caveman, doing whatever it takes to feed your body only enough to survive and live. That is the key to longevity. Some of the countries where people are living the longest, they are only eating 1, maximum 2 meals per day. And if they're having 2 meals a day, it's a very light breakfast and it's one heavy meal at the end of the day. And if you go right the way back to caveman era, what did they used to do? They killed the prey after they hunted it. They couldn't store it. There was no fridge freezers back those days, so it was eat what you can now. Just eat. You ain't going to store it as fat because you're healthy as fuck. You're very active. You ate what you did. Massive meal. There wasn't that, oh, I'll save a little bit for later. You know, you ate what you could and then you got on with your day. So when you eat like that, the body likes it. It responds better. That's just the way we're built. None of this 5-6 meals a day, spread it out. That's another topic as well. So that is how our body likes to live. So back to the video, what I'm talking about. I've kind of gone off track there a little bit. Sorry about that, guys. I do often go off track. But spot reduction, absolute garbage. It's a myth, does not exist. So hopefully if this video gave you some value and answered your question for you, subscribe, comment down below some of the myths you guys have heard. I'd like to hear them and like the video.